fucking get my door, put the fucking door in!
1, 2, and we're on. Blink and you're on. Yes, and tonight's show is going to be, I've just decided I'm going to speak about my younger life, because I've not really gave the viewers any insight what I've done when I was younger, unless you read the book. So I'm sitting here nice and casual tonight, trying to put on a big smile and look straight into the camera. The last one I'd done was Low Moss. I hope that get well received. I'm just one of these guys that's just trying to fight for the underprivileged, the over battered, and just bullies. Yes, we know who we're talking about, don't we? Yes. The prison officers. Well, when I've done Barlinnie and I've done Low Moss, there is a lot of nasty people in there that work in there. But since Ian's got older, I don't know if I've got wiser, I've came to the conclusion, years ago I used to hate all prison officers, all police officers, all social workers, everybody. But as I say, older, maybe not wiser, I've came to the conclusion there's good and bad everywhere. So there's good prison officers, bad prison officers, bad police, good police, bad social workers. So that's the way the world is. So all the prison officers up in Barlinnie, Low Moss, and police that I've spoken about, that doesn't make all these bad apples, but there is a few bad apples, and that's why I went up to Low Moss the other night. I've been hearing for the last few months that people who was going to segregation block were getting their cunt battered in. And sorry for swearing, because I try not to swear now, because the Blink the Miss It is not about swearing. It's just trying to tell you real stories from my past, and I'm going to start tonight telling you about when I was younger. First of all, I didn't come from a crime family. My mother was a hard-working woman, my dad was a hard-working man, so let's get that straight. We'll skip right up to I was 14. My dad was a strict disciplinarian. Me and my two brothers, Alan and Gary, who had the nicknames of Gash and Alco, and by this time I was called Blink. I got that name from the Army Cadets, but the name grew sinister as I got older. I don't know why, but it did. So there you go, the name came from the Army Cadets. We still go down to West Princess Street. We jumped the number 11 bus. We went there the Monday, Wednesday and Friday. It was good for us kids. We learnt all about map reading, how to strip rifles and guns, which would become a big part of my life later on. Oh yes, it would. And if I tell you, most of it's in the book anyway, so I'm not talking out of school, because I was actually done with 2 shootings, well, 2 attempt murders. I'll go into that later. But, so I'm going to talk about my young life. My dad, as I said, he was a strict disciplinarian. We used to want to hang about with the boys at the corner. My dad just didn't allow that, which was good. I thought that was good. Got up to my granddad's on a Saturday. Jockey Moore, my granddad, and Nan. My granddad was a big wrestling fan. We'd watch Daddy Haystacks, as Big Daddy was known. No, he wasn't known as Big Daddy. Giant Haystacks in Big Daddy. Mick McManus. That's why it's unscripted, and I won't be taking this out and rewinding it to get it right. Always try and do it in a take 1, and not take that Put Robbie as the man. But anyway, apart from all the carry on, my dad left just after I was 14, and within a year, I would say, me, Gary and Alan were all in approved school. Yes. My poor mother couldn't cope with us. So we just hang about with the boys at the corner. I ended up in the Kibble approved school, any use from Paisley, no. There was a governor at the time, Plastic Arse Gardner. He was called Plastic Arse Gardner. It was rumoured he was shot in the war. So while he was smoking his pipe to his heart's content, us young boys were out in fields in Johnston and Farms, picking up turnips, getting frostbite, and I can tell you this, when I was in that approved school, there was a lot of lonely nights, as I've said, in the older years in prison, but there was a lot of boys crying for their mammy. And I'm not ashamed to say I was probably one of them. But that wasn't the first time I cried for my mammy, because I escaped from the approved school, stole a silly car, got to jail, ended up in Longregain, young offenders. It was called the Schoolboys. And on my 16th birthday, believe it or not, I went to Glasgow Sheriff Court and I got 3 weeks Bostow detention reports. I went to Glasgow Sheriff Court after the 3 weeks. There was a woman and a gentleman from the Kibble School. I don't know what they were called. They weren't called screws or whatever. I just don't know what they were called. They were just there anyway. They were on probation. So they says to me, Ian, before it went to court, they says, look, you know what this Bostow's like, detention's like, oh, it's terrible, and blah, 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 blah. It says, we can get you 2 years in Rossie Farm. It was a secure unit. And I says to myself, nah, 2 years. Bostow, I heard you done 9 months or 11 months. So I says, no. I never says to him, bolt, but I kind of just says, nah. I knew I was going to be on the path at this time in a life of crime that early age. So I says, no, I'll take my chances. I was hoping to get detention, but I never got detention. I got sent to Bostow training, and at 16 years and 3 weeks, I was sent to Bostow, and at that time in March 1977, he went to the dreaded Barrel Hill. To fill you in about Barrel Hill, I used to see that place every day when I went to school. I went to Smithycroft School. It used to be a big round school. It's all demolished, just like All Saints and other schools have all been refurbished, rebuilt. So I was really destined for Barrel Hill. So you had to go to Berlin before you went to Bostow. I went in there, I think it was in there 4 nights, and the hall I was in, I can't remember the hall I was in, but I could climb up to the window and you could actually see the motorway, you could see my mother's house in the background. But the motorway, when I was a young boy, when I moved up to Blackhill at 12, it used to be the canal, and we'd many good times going about the canal. Just bird nesting, we were bows and arrows, we were shooting water rats. There was a lot of rats to come in my life after it, a lot of Judases as well. Rats is another term for informers. So, as I said, I cried. In the book it's called From Schoolboy to Bad Boy. And I became a bad boy. So I went to Bostow, it toughened me up. I went to Alicali, met a lot of good people in Alicali. He done an 8 weeks assessment. I met Big Lux for the Carlton. Met Tommy Kilmartin from the Carlton, who I've heard is sadly dead now. Tommy, you were a good guy. I've never met your older brother. But Tommy escaped from the Sheriff Court away back in 76, 77. There was also Eli Black. I met Big Wardy there. V8K from Petershill Road. Roby, he also came from Petershill. Actually, Shug O'Donnell was in there as well. I was 16, Shug was 20. Shug's went on to do fantastic things in his life. Not like me. Shug became a businessman, legitimate, and he is a good guy. I can honestly say that. Shug's done well with his life. Leads a quiet life. He's not into all the fancy nightclubs going. You might go in a couple, but he leads a quiet life. And also my pal Jamie, he teaches him how to play golf. Jamie's good. That's Jamie's got the pub up Millingston. But apart from that, I went to Borstal. Gary ended up going to... Gary ended up in a place called Jalesland in Beeve. Then he went to a place up in Aberdeen, escaped through there. Alan, meanwhile, he ended up in St John's in Edinburgh Road. Oh, I forgot to say I was in Larch Grove as well. Alan, Gary, I think they were in there as well. And Gary ended up getting Borstal. He stabbed somebody at the Broomfield, just at the Broomfield roundabout. Nothing to be proud of, but in the days, in the late 70s, early 80s, well, that's just the way life was then. We're all a bunch, well, I wouldn't say animals, but we were just a bunch of vagabonds. We didn't know any better, there was no jobs, didn't even think of getting a job anyway. Alcohol, he ended up getting detention centre. And my mum says that when she went up, and my ma, when she went up to see Alan, he marched into the visit, sat down, she says, that did do him a bit of discipline, because Alan was a cheeky bugger. So, I don't know if it sobered them up or no, I think it did. But Gary, sadly at 19 and a half, 19, Gary cut somebody's throat up, I won't get into it. Met a girl at the Rock Park, at the Rock Club. Back to the house. Girl says, who's that? My boyfriend opened the door. Try to get away. And Gary just cut my Stanley. We were also in a gang called the Stanley Gang. And Mr. Ferris was in it. My pal called H, who can't be named for legal reasons, he was in it, and me, Gary, and Alan. But the times were mental, in my youth. Yes, I'm no angel, but I like Paul van Dyke for an angel. And many a good nights I had in Archie's listening to Paul van Dyke for an angel. And it used to bring out the wee angel in me, which it wasn't. I wasn't an angel. When I was younger, I was nasty, but I was only trying to get in there first with people that was trying to get into me. So, H went away for 4 years, Gary was away for 8 years, and at the time, I forgot to say when I was in Long Weekend, I was on for a silly charge and Gary was in. I ended up getting up on the roof of Long Weekend, trying to get me down. I was already doing 3 days in the digger, which is the solitary, and I says, fuck it. I was walking up and down the yard, and I went, how get up on this roof? So I managed one day, I says, fuck it. I was a little vagabond. I managed to get this drain pipe up on the roof, started throwing the slates. Yes, I threw a few slates, just like my pal Sammy Ralston. He threw more slates than me, a hell of a lot more. I says, Sammy, it took the SAS to get him down. Big shout for Sammy, the bear. He's still going strong. Him and his wee dog about Shelton. Sammy is a legend in the SPS. He caused them all sorts of havoc. And Sammy went to the cages. I actually remember going up to see Sammy, the bear, in Berlin. He says he was on a hunger strike. It was the best looking hunger striker I saw. But he did admit to me that he was eating a Mars bar or two. And Sammy could do a lot of press ups. I think Sammy actually spent 2 years in the cages. And for him to do that, Sammy, you need to have a lot of mindset. You need to be really, really tough. And Sammy the Bear was, and still is. One of the best guys in Glasgow. Anti screws, anti everything. But he's good stuff. So we move up a gear. Ian was 19. What happened then? My young brother Alco. He said he was out with Mr. Ferris, Paul. He says, see, Blink does a lot of running. Run. In the Hugginfield Loch. Alco says that's correct. Says Ian's graduated from car theft to shoplifting, and then he goes into jewellers. I used to get smartly dressed. I get to a jewellers. This was 1980, by the way. There was no cameras, no phones, no nothing at the time. And Ian McGinn put on the polite voice, pair of glasses, pair of smart trousers, tie, soft running shoes, hence all the running the Hugginfield Loch. And he begins, kid only had a girlfriend, I mean, not a girlfriend then. If it was a guy or a woman or whatever, I can say, can I see pad 43 in the window? 99.9% they would bring the tray out. And I had an Operas Monday. Before they brought the tray and put it down, my intention was to just grab the lot. Because before they even put it down, they would say, right, what ring is it again? And I just didn't give them a chance. I just went the lot and ran out the door. But I always had a route. Was it a quarter of a mile? Maybe not a quarter of a mile. I always try to get a jeweller's in a corner, go through lanes, blah, 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 blah. And if anybody was chasing me, I was quite confident I was a good runner. We've got to give Mr. Ferris his due. I'm not here to slag Mr. Ferris all the time, all these stupid podcast wars, and down at the Crown Plaza where Paul gave me the dummy shake. I still speak highly of Paul. He came out of the detention centre and he said, let's get up to the Hugginfield Loch, my pitch. And can I admit this? Yes, I will. Paul says, come on, I'll have a little race round the loch with you, just to win that. I says, not a problem. I was beating him 3/4 round, then he stepped up a gear. It must have been all that pudding and custard and all the training he got in the detention centre. Yes, Mr. Ferris, you bet me again. It wasn't by much, by that much. Same as similar to the XR2 story, the XR3 story. What did I call it? Paul Ferris, Road Wars, and The Farmer's Daughter. And all yous that don't know what The Farmer's Daughter is now, Ian's on the water tonight. Quite right, Ian. Ian's looking fresh. Ian's been off everything. I'm trying to go on the path. Ian is I'm not saying I'm pure, innocent, or perfect. Nobody's perfect in this world. And I commend anybody looking in that camera from Glasgow, Falkirk, Stirling, Aberdeen, Dundee, Edinburgh, Liverpool, Manchester, London, even far. There's people coming in far now from Madrid, Italy, making comments. I'd say you were a liar if you says you haven't done anything in your life, it's wrong. Even if it's a wee tiny white lie. Did I say white line? Jesus Christ. That's another unscripted mistake, but we'll keep that in as well. Because nobody's perfect. Even people that's sitting in £10 million houses. I would rather sit in a council house. But money doesn't buy everything. I'm testament to that. I used to be very materialistic, and as I said before, I went from Prada, then I went back down to Foot Locker. I'm not even in Foot Locker now, I just go for my training shoes and Nike or whatever. But this is the way life goes. I'm drifting. Where am I drifting to? Is it Cumbernauld Roundabout tonight? No. Is it Steps Roundabout? No. We're not even went that far. It might be the roundabout up at Balmullock, where me and Mr. Ferris, Paul, had the chase that night with the police, and there was no winners that night. He tried to claim victory, but there was no winners. So let's get back to the story. Alco says to Paul, he's graduated, and Paul says, can I come on board? And I says to Paul, okay, you can come on board. I says, I'll do the first one, and we drove somewhere. I says, see your £50, because to explain it to the viewers, Paul had a job that night. Well, not that night. He had a job for about 6 months. He worked for a spirit company delivering spirits to pubs, hotels, wherever. You get £50 a week. This is 1980, by the way. And I says, right, you can come with me. I'll do the first one. I says, I'll be back in 9 minutes. I says, see your 50 quid? I says, you're going to get £500 at least. I was back in 7. I think we just got under £500. So I says, you're doing the next one. Which she did. Paul was up for it. So we had about a 2.5 year relationship doing jewellers, but we also went into B&Q and stole Stanleys. We actually stole them. Yes, we were bad, but so was a lot of people in Glasgow at that time. And contrary to rumours, somebody says, yeah, these were doing innocent people. I can assure you we weren't. We were doing people that deserved it. People that tried to get into us first. So we get in first with the Stanley. That's why we were called the Stanley Gang. From a very young age, yes, I don't mind admitting to it. I cut people from after I came out of Boston, because they were trying to cut me and harm me. It's just a way of life. And if you decide to go that path, well, you take the consequences, and you don't harm innocent people unless people try to get in the way. It's in that life, not bystanders. So me and Mr. Ferris, we graduated to doing jewellers' windows. We went over Hadrian's Wall. We were great believers in Robin English. And I don't say that in a bad tone, because I've got a lot of good English friends from my 9 years, 2 months in England. But we'd done that much jewellers in Glasgow and Scotland, went over Hadrian's Wall, and we targeted windows. Oh, we just didn't do windows at night. We'd stolen cars, and we'd just drive up to a jeweller's that was opened and get out the sledgehammers. Nowadays, I think you get windows, it's like plastic, goes in and out, in and out, in and out. You counter some of them in later years. But most of the windows were in, and we were stealing jewellery for fun. And that's when Gary went away, H went away, me and Paul were still out. Then the summons came from the Godfather. Who's the Godfather? Mr. Arthur Thompson from Glasgow, who I always say is a real deal. It's Sharp's eyes. I get summoned round there twice, as people might know the stories. The first one was hilarious. I get summoned round. Billy came and shut the door. My mum's house round the corner. My dad wants to see you. So I'd go round, and Mr. Thompson, as usual, take you into the room, it'd be nice. All the pleasantries, then you get down to business. And the first time he says to me, right, it's about your young brother Alan. He sold a chain to my daughter Tracy and a pal, £250 each. It's called the Razzle Dazzle scam. And I went, oh Jesus Christ. And I went, right, Mr. Thompson? And he went, the necks went green. I went, fuck that, is a Razzle Dazzle scam. And he went, the young lassies have not got a lot of money. But I'm standing there thinking, well, wait a minute. This is the Godfather of Glasgow. And he's pulling me up saying his two daughters. So, what did I say? I says, Mr. Thompson, I always called him Mr. Thompson. I says, don't worry, I'll sort it out. And he went, that would be kind of, he said. So, I'm round every intention of sorting this. Alan came into my mum's house, and my ma's house. I says, listen, I've just been summoned with the Godfather. I says, you done the Razzle Dazzle scam on Tracy and a pal. Their necks went green after a few weeks as usual because they'd done it with everybody. And he says, and what about it, matter of factly? I says, well, I've told them that you'll pay the money back. He said, £500. And I went, so you're going to give him it? He went, I'm giving fuck all. And I says, Alco, nobody fucks with the Godfather. And he says to me, well, I'm fucking with the Godfather. And at this time, I looked at him and I went, because I was getting an alcohol. I went, wait a minute, you cheeky wee rascal. I says, oh, I'm no fucking paying it off my next term. Because I was the type of person, when I got money, I just spent it that day, that night or weeks or whatever, because I didn't think I was going to be here tomorrow. So that's what he actually says to me. Fuck the Godfather. Well, I went, okay then, fuck him. I said, because I'm not paying it either. So I'll go fuck the Godfather. So, Paul came round to me one day and he says, we've been summoned to the problem of Lynn. Water, it's not vodka. I says to him, I think I was about 21 at the time. I says to him, look, you're going to get round there, you're going to get a using. Mr. Thompson was sitting in his chair, smoking a cigar, drinking brandy, watching Minder, while me and you were running about like two debt collectors and bail bondsmen, either shooting people or slashing people to recover debts from them. And I thought to myself, I went, why would Mr. Thompson, the Godfather, want two young bloods like us to do his bidding when he's supposed to have the whole of Glasgow sewn up? So I just says no. I says to Paul, I says, listen, I says, I'm going higher. Meaning, we went to the jewellers, the windows. Higher to me was bringing that out. Post offices, whatever, security guards. He says, no, I'm going round. I says, get out to your meeting. So he came back round and he says, I've been recruited. I says, okay, good luck. I says, are you sure you're doing the right thing here? Many years later, he wrote a book with Steve Rafe and I think it was called Unfinished Business. It's a tribute to Reg Mackay. And in the book, it said I should listen to his old man Willie. Willie, by the way, was his dad. He robbed Berlini for the wages in a bank robbery. He got 5 years. Well done, Willie. Willie used to be good to me. On my crime sprees, Willie would hire me cars out sometimes, and he'd do a lot of other things, which I'm not going to mention. But Willie told him, his dad, don't go to Thompson, and I told him. So he admitted this in the book. Oh, by the way, we we never just went over Adrian's Wall. We went to Europe. Yes, and we robbed over there. So we weren't fucking about. So he decided to go with them, and I could just see, no Mystic Meg or whatever, I could just see there was going to be trouble. Which many years later it did. But he still stayed friendly anyway. And I'm not going to get into the visit in Berlin and all that. That's already been poured over with the Daily Record and that. So I gave him a reply, setting the record straight. I wasn't being cheeky. He called me something, I called him something back. See, when I look at the video now, it was childish. I looked at the video I done and I went, I can't believe I actually done that. But I've done it now. Have I any regrets of getting up on that stage in the Crown Plaza? Yes. I don't regret getting up on the stage. What I do regret is I praised you to the high heaven, Paul. Yes, I'll call you Paul. Says you were the funniest wee guy out, sister loves you, blah 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 blah. But you gave me a handshake. It was dummy. I just wish I wouldn't have praised you. I wish I'd have just asked you about the Daily Record story and that. But things I've done now, it's in the past, and that's it. And Mr. English, he let me down as well. I thought James was a friend, knew his family as well, but James asked him for tickets, didn't want me to go to the show. As everybody knows, it was in today's paper as well, I don't know if everybody knows. I says I was going to compete with James. I'm up in the ante. So we'll see what happens. But he blocked my number also, and I could have been asking for help because I had a bad cocaine problem. I'm getting myself better now. I'll admit this on camera. A lot of people won't. Oh, I'm this and I'm that. But I'm no this or that. I'm just plain me, simple Ian. He's got a simple lifestyle now. He's got nearly a 3-year-old daughter. Girlfriend Ashley. I'm not materialistic anymore. And life's good. Every day I wake up in the morning, I breathe oxygen. And it feels great. So, would it be good to have money? Of course it would. Am I willing to put my life on the line, get back into crime? Certainly not. So, that's my position today. I'm just a law-abiding member of the society. So, Ian was speaking about your young life. So after Mr. Me and Ferris split up, he went his way, I went my way. I got into other things. Well, I'm not even going to say what in there, but I got into things. And right up to the age of 30, I said to myself, I beat the big one. What was the big one? The big one was the Mysterious H, doing nearly 5 years. Gary doing the 8 years, other pals doing 10 years. I'd only done, there you go again, water. I'd only done up to 18 months. And by the way, your life can change like that in a flash, and mine's did. I ended up getting nearly 18 years at the age of 30. And I've got a flashback here for way back when I was younger. I was doing 9 months in Glenorchy Young Offenders, and I was sent down to Berlin to finish it. 9 months, and I sat with a good friend who became a good friend in the bar. At the time it was dining tables in Berlin, and There was a guy, Tim Moffat, there, who I was friends with his brother Albert, a brother James as well. They were done with a bank robbery many, many years ago. Take my hat off to they two. They came in 81, 82, it was 82. They done a 30-day hunger strike, which I commend them for it in Bellini Hospital. I done a 3-day hunger strike in Mulberry End, and it nearly killed me. So, James and Sam, and well, I was pals with young Albert. Me and them robbed many jewellers as well. But Ernie, I'm going to talk about him. I might even do a podcast about Ernie. Ernie's a fascinating story. He's no longer with us either. Ernie's passed. It was at his funeral. He was a top guy. Anybody that breaks anybody out of prison is a good guy in my books. So we'll come to that one day. So I'm moving up the ranks in my 20s. I was done for a shooting, attempted murder in Alexandra Parade. I think it was 1987, 88, I was about 26, 27 at the time. Allegedly, somebody was shot in a car sales room, Alexandra Parade. I was charged with it, and Mysterious H was charged with it, a couple other people. I spent 5 months in Bellini for it. I had Donald Finlay, I think the Mysterious H had Lord Dawson, who became a judge. And just before we went down to the dock, Donald Finlay says to me, look, the evidence is overwhelming, plead guilty and I'll get you under a 10. I looked at him and went, no. So he says to me, you must know something I know. And the Mysterious H was told the same thing. Plead guilty and we'll get you a 10 or under 10. So we took our chances, and by the way, we never done this. We were innocent. Innocent as hell with Scheme Signs, one of my favourite bands for Glasgow. And young Sean that's always making comments. Sean, I salute you. Desi's nephew, Desi the drummer. What a great band Scheme is. There's 3 of them gone. There's John Smith gone. There's Denny gone. And of course, Big George was on the saxophones. He was great. So there's Desi and Rab. Rab was the superstar. Rab, cracking singer. Rab came from Cranhill, and they took him down to my mother's house one day. My sister Tracy, she was like, oh, Rab the superstar. She was like 16 at the time. So if Desi and Rab's listening to this, best band that's ever come out of Glasgow by far. And I don't know why he's never made it. You should have made it big time. I went to see his in Maxwell Plums on a Saturday afternoon. Stringfellows and Paisley. Fullerton Park Hotel, which was called the San Mile at the time. He's played loads of places. I followed. Just like I followed Mr. Friel, John Friel. John Friel was the business. There was the 3 Johns. There was John Lynn, John Friel and John Kavanagh. And at the time, 1982, 81, I followed them all the way to the Warehouse, Mardi Gras, the Videodrome in York Street, Henry Africa's, Tinpanalley, and it was great times then, the 80s. But I was also at Mr. Friel's funeral, me and John Lynn, from 2009, he died. John, you were a legend in Scotland and Ireland, big man. I know I'm drifting a little bit again, but Who cares? I don't get paid for this. I do this off my own whim. So anybody that says, can you stop drifting? Can you stop doing this? No. I'll do what I want. Because I don't get paid. But I like doing this. It's a bit of therapy. And I'm still talking here. The camera's just fell down there just now. Still talking. It's fell. Don't worry, I'll be back up just now. Well, I don't get paid, but just at this point, shall I again? We're going to do some shout outs. It wouldn't be the same if there wasn't any shout outs. So let's get straight down to the shout outs tonight. There's a shout out for Lerdy Boy from TikTok. There's also Martin Maley for Paisley. I see you coming up, Martin. Martin was one of my friends in Boston, and when I got out of prison in 2001, we hit a lot of nightclubs, him and Alison. There's Big Miggy from Bonnie Big. He's been in and out of hospital. He's now on the mend, and that's from Alan Malloy. Then, as I mentioned earlier, there's Evan Sean Osborne, Desi's nephew from Scheme. And there's John Campbell even from the Dry Gate, wanted to mention. Also Claire Bear Gordon, her birthday was on the 11th. May from her man. Her man's name's not there, but it's Excalibur RFC. Also for Alex Pearson, he's a regular viewer. Cheers, Alex. There's Ross and her boyfriend and partner for being regulars on the Blink You Miss It as well. Thank you. Another shout out for the Egyptian warrior. Once you go there, you'll never get back to Cairo, and you'll never get back to the gyro. Okay? And Goonie evicted Posh for Ramad earlier today. Nothing to do with me, by the way. Then there's to Kevo, regular viewer. Also Tom Dawson wants a shout out for his son Jim dancing. Yeah, dancing. So that's from your dad. These bits of paper, I just collect them. Then there's Big Stu, who's been in the hospital for stroke, and it's from the Big One. Then wish a happy belated birthday to Cy Bennett from Carlisle, and that's from Ivor Armstrong. Cy, I see a lot of your comments, thank you mate. And give my pal Colin from East Kilbride a shout out. Colin's a good guy, Colin's in his 50s. Sorry Colin, you just lost your wee dad there, he was 87, but he had a good innings. And what has Colin done? Colin had the foresight to actually book a ticket to Seville when Rangers beat Dortmund, and Colin booked a ticket to Seville for 2 days. I think it only cost him 130 quid. And with his wee dad's funeral, it was the day of the Rangers qualifying for the semi-finals. One of his pals from Belfast gave him a ticket for the match. So Colin, you've done well, you're a good guy, and we'll have that drink shortly, mate. That's Colin for East Kilbride. Then there's Brian Smith from Little Scotland. He came up for David Fitzsimmons' funeral. David was my friend, very good friend. David came up to see me, my mother and that, inviting us down to Corby. A lot of good people in Corby, by the way. David stayed down there for years. Sadly, he never made his 50th birthday. He was found in a house, overdosed. So that's what happened to David. Me and David were in Portugal, we've been in Tenerife. So it's been 11 years now since David died. Let's see, have you all got wee bits of papers here? Loads of people are asking for a shout out. Another one for B and Connie, Maddie and Melissa and baby Melody, who's due in July. So a big shout out for yous. There's bits of paper. Scott Docherty from Edinburgh. I've meant to give you a shout out, Scott, for ages. You've been watching the show, so thanks, Scott. And I brought down here, it's the best Scottish town outside of Scotland is Corby. Another shout out for Corby. I'm sure Mick Kenner was down there staying when I was down there one time. Then also there's a shout out for my younger brother Alan. Alan turned 57 the other day. Alan nearly died. I was just down to Royal Infirmary just now. He's made a miraculous recovery. So my younger brother Alan, 57. Alan, I salute you. Alco, he was one of Stanley gang as well. Another bit of paper. Yes, Craig, on TikTok, you asked me about a fundraising page. It's a charity cycle for Sam H. It's the mental health. But I've not got the details. I know this is, this thing's, I think it's taking part in July. But I think you're doing a fundraising or something. I don't know too much about that. But you wanted to give me the details. I've not got the details, but I gave you a shout out for it just now. I don't know too much about all that what is it called? Fundraising money. Also, Vaz O'Connell and Adele Curley, and Brian White and Adele. Brian's also a mammy's boy to Helen White, and they're for Clydebank. I've been speaking to them in TikTok as well. So lads, there's your shout out, promise you that. This is a bit of paper here. Yes, and if people choose, I'm talking about me here, if people choose that life, they know the consequences. No one gets harmed in this lifestyle unless they get themselves involved. So there you go. I've done the shout outs quite quick tonight. Last week I know I was a bit of a bore, 10 minutes. So these things happen. So anyway, getting back to this shooting in the garage, we went to court. We got a not guilty, and Ian went to walk out the dock, and the prison officer says, "Where are you going?" And Ian, being the cheeky devil that he is, he said, "Well, the judge says not guilty." He says, "But remember, Ian, you've been charged with assaulting 3 prison officers in Berlin." Yes, Ian's been done with assault prison officers. They've assaulted me. But when Ian's assaulted the prison officers, I've done it myself, I've done it with a friend. I've not had 10 of you prison officers coming into my cell, battering my cunt in, you know what I mean? Booting me about like a fucking cricket ball. Yes, yous are not so smart when there's 1 years or 2 years. Years ago, when I just got out 20 years ago, I saw a few years in the count house. Were you so hard then? No. I walked up to yous, says, "How yous doing, gentlemen? Do you remember me?" No, yous didn't. But I was very polite. I just says, "Yous gave me a good tanking in 1991 when I got to jail a long time ago. Yous battered my cunt in for nothing, but there was about 10 of yous. It was all controlled. You had the remembrance book. Anybody that had been in trouble in Berlin before the riot, with my good friend Sammy Ralston caused it. Yes, Sammy the Bear. You never caused it. You get booted fuck out of you in the dining hall. You get took to the hall. Ernie Barry, Cokie, they decided to take actions, but I'll get into that later. But also the Bear, it took the SAS to remove Sammy from Peterhead jail. So I salute you. So getting back to the count house, all the excuses usual. "Oh, we don't know." I says, "Yeah, well, I fucking know." And I gave them a bye that day. Never touched them because they'd probably get the nick. But I had a few stern words with them. Politely, of course. But you don't do politeness. And as I've said, there's a lot of good prison officers, bad prison officers, but using the count house that day, yous were the bad ones. The bad, bad, bad prison officers. Yes. But that's a long time ago. But he's still doing it. Don't know how he's getting away with it. You get away with it. But your days will come. You know what I mean? Everybody just kind of get kicked fuck out of these days, and you expect nothing. And you go home to your wives and you all go, oh, I kicked fuck out of somebody the day. But you forgot to add there was about 7 or 8 of your pals with you. Anyway, going off that track, that was one of 2 shootings I get done with. The other one, I get done, somebody gets shot in Ingram Street. And mysterious Mr. H, I think he was charged with that as well. But again, the police were out to fit us up. Oh yes, they were. I was in Ross at the time. My solicitor came up to see me when I came back. Says the police are looking for you. So they phoned down to Stewart Street. Cheers, water lads. Is it water? Is it water now? Of course it is. So I went down to my lawyer to Stewart Street. This was about 1990, just a year before I went to the big prison sentence. Behind the darkest, grimmest, greyest walls that England had to offer. So the desk sergeant, or whoever it was in Stewart Street, promised, no, we just want to talk to you. So I says, I'll be back for my dinner. Yeah, a week later. I went down to Stewart Street and before I even get in the door, I've got 6 CID jumping on top of me. Never even got to see a thing. It's in my book, My Famous Alibi. Police saw with a giggle that night. They gave me one of the question and answer things, interviews. He says, who else was there that night you saw? And Rossi? Could he be a witness? And I says, yes, I'm not getting to it, that's what it's about. I says, yes, Sir David Attenborough. They all giggled. Ugh. Tell me another fucking joke. William slapped the table. Says, you think you're a comedian? And I looked at him and went, not quite yet. Talking about comedians, I like Kevin Bridges. Kevin's good. Saw him in Byers Road the other week. And I like your gigs, mate. You tell it like it is. Very, very funny. Only thing is, you're a Celtic supporter. No. I'm not going to know that. Because I'm Rangers. Most of my family are Celtic. No, Kevin Bridges, good comedian, mate. And for Clydebank. You've done well, mate. Done really well. If you ever want any of my jokes off me, I'll sell you them for a £5. Well, maybe a bit more. No, I'm not materialistic. I'll give you them for nothing. But anyway, the second shooting, this guy had the, I don't even know the words, because I'm not a man for big words, I just give it Glaswegian. He got a couple of girls that was in this flat in Ingram Street to say, I was there, along with the other people, that I shot this guy. No. He was just a little rat. We'll call him, who will we call him? We'll call him a scumbag, but he's got another name, Mr. Versace, Scarface, right? You told girls to say, I was there, and another couple of people. Still running about Glasgow just now, and I've heard that you're actually going out with a girl who I know his husband. But these things happen. But you are a scumbag, Mr. Versace, from doing that. I spent a week in prison, so I knew how Ernie Barry felt, innocent man. And I was in prison, I was saying, Christ. because I get remanded for a week. And I was thinking to myself, Christ, there must be a lot of people in here that's innocent. But anyway, that water tastes nice. It's a bit, it wasn't the Highland Spring I had up at Low Moss the other day, but it's not too bad. So getting back to that, got away with that. We never got away with it. I'd never done it. And neither did the mysterious H and the other people. But it just shows you the way some people in Glasgow operate. That's why I'm not into crime today. There's too many informers out there. Too many. And by the way, a big up for the police. The police aren't stupid. Years ago in my time in the 80s, they used to sit in a car and they would be, you could see them at mile away, you know what I mean? Nowadays it's all electronics, bugs, but most of all it shows informers. Yes, I'm looking at the camera and I'm looking right at yous. Some of yous will probably be watching this. If I get any intelligence on yous, I'll be putting it up and naming and shaming yous, and yous can get to fuck. Or whatever. Shotting people, grassing people. It's the lowest despicable thing in the criminal. Well, is there a code? There used to be a code, but not now. Not now. So, if any of you are watching this for your £2 million houses, your big yachts, and your fancy places in Spain, well, good luck to you. But can you sleep at night? Of course you can. Because you have got all the luxuries, because you are sticking people in left, right and centre to save your own skin and to have this mirage, luxurious lifestyle. But I'm quite happy, as I've already mentioned, got to the pound shop, TK Maxx. I still get hassle with the police there and again, but it's just these silly things. But I wouldn't get back into crime. And that's why I always say, and I've not said it for a while, there's two paths. There's a straight path and there's a slippery path. And I'm only going on about the slippery path here. If you got the slippery path, I'm all about consequences. There might be an Xbox in the cell, might be a shower in the cell, might be Sky TV, but I'm sick of saying it. When that door shuts at night, at 9 o'clock, you might be thinking about your girlfriend, you might be thinking about your sister, mother, auntie. That's when the real time starts. And by the way, there is a lot of lonely nights. When I done my big sentence in England, I never actually had a TV for 8 years. Yes, 8 years. And nowadays people have got phones. Oh, I would have hated to have a phone at the beginning of my sentence. Try to find out where your girlfriends don't know what you're doing, stay in and all that. Because that's what must go on. But wait and I tell you, when I did have a phone, I moved up to Shorts. I got a phone. And one of the corrupt prison officers walked by my cell. Oh, I was glad to do this. And he says, something on your bed. And it was a wee Nokia, and somebody was next door to me, and the phone was going, do, 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 do. For 5 nights, the phone rang. And before I got to jail, in 1991, it was a big car dealer phone. So I didn't have a clue. It was just a wee Nokia phone. I think it was £200. The school get paid £200 for bringing it in. So the guy next door to me, Brian, he said to me, listen, if you get a phone, I says, no, it must be the adverts. And after 5 days I went like that, I says, oh Brian, I says, can you fix this? And he just went, beep. How would you do that? Just pressing it. So simple. And Brian used to hear me at night, and I also had earphones. So what did Ian do? Oh yes. Ian became a sexpert. I learned how to have phone sex, I says to the girl. She was say 30 mile away. I put these little earphones in and I says, you seem right close to me, darling. Ian had the chat then. He's not chatting now. He's getting too young for all that carry on. Because I don't get old. I get younger. I'm like Ian Benjamin Button. I get older, but I get younger. So I can't even say in this programme because it's over 18. Is it over 18 X-rated? Yeah, I wouldn't even say it. But I became an expert anyway, and I used to get into the workshop in the morning. People go out, you look as if you've not had a sleep, Ian. Ian didn't have a sleep. He was up to 4 and 5 in the morning. Not just talking to this girl. I was talking to people who was coming out the dancing and all that. So that was my little bit of parole. Then I did get out, and just as well when I did get out, that my poor wee ma, she went to Slater's and got me a suit, tie, shirt, shoes, the lot, and I would have come out looking like somebody out of Shawaddy Waddy. And for you younger viewers, you wouldn't know who that is, but the older viewers will know who it is. Shawaddy Waddy, it was something like Slade, it was a group from the 70s. Just as well. Fuck. The Daily Record were there. Christ, that would have been a showing up, wouldn't it? And the prison officers are going, oh, there's another little surprise out there. I went, I don't care what surprises are out there. But they told me Daily Record was there, but I didn't know that my man they had a big stretch limo, and I was like, wow, this stretch limo, couldn't believe it. Then there was a chauffeur. So the guy went up, so he got a glass of champagne in the car park. The governor walked by and he went, good luck, Mr. McDonald. I went, up yours. The next day it was in the paper, it was 10-year stretch. It says I put my 2 fingers up to the law. No, it wasn't, it was to the governor. Okay? It wasn't Audrey Park. Actually got recalled. Who gets recalled for enjoying themselves? Me. In the dancing in Victoria's, as you all know, I was in there for 10 months or something. I got recalled just after a year. The police had put an intelligence report out me. Social worker says I was going to escape for Spain and my son to go to visit in Belna Medina. And he says, I think Ian's going to be an escape risk. And Strathclyde Police at the time, not Police Scotland, Mr. House, that you and Nicola formed. It was Strathclyde Police. February 2003, he went up to Shorts. Chapped the door. Prison officer knew who I was. So I says, I want to see Audrey Park, the governor. So she came down. And she says, Ian, you can't just come up here and chap this door and think you're in a bed and breakfast facility. I went, well, this is where I got released for, so I went in there. The police have been looking for 5 days. And she says to me, you've got a lovely tan. Because it says in the Daily Record that I'd been on the run and I was over in Spain. And I said to her, I went to a sunbed shop in Duke Street. She just laughed, ha ha ha. She says, what is it you want? I says, I want to get took into Shorts prison. She repeated, it's not a bed and breakfast facility, you can't just come up and go. Let me in to HMP Shorts, the high security prison in Scotland. Well, I might be wrong there, it might be Berlin, but I think it's Shorts. So, after about a to and fro, she went back to me, she went, who's that standing with you? And I went, it's my sister. It wasn't, it was Cara Page for the Daily Record, because I was handing myself in. I said to myself, okay then, if I'm going to hand myself in, I want a campaign. I want the newspapers taking that support me. Because this intelligence report was one load of baloney. Was Michael Francis said in an interview with Sammy the Bull. Talking baloney. And Sammy the Bull said, "What the hell are you talking about, baloney? Baloney? Whoever says baloney?" Well, Michael Francis said it, Sammy. Because I'm John Gotti all the way. Okay, let's get that clear. Yes, so Michael Francis says baloney, and Sammy the Bull of the Rat try to dismiss it. But we'll not get into that. But Ian, and for 14 months, he got released again, back into the big bad world. And I said to myself, well, you're a failed bank robber. You put back into prison for a police intelligence report. It was all just full of lies. So it was the 1st of April 2004, and I said to myself, well, I'm not fooling about. I've been back into serious crime, which I did, and it's very successful in the world, done this, done that. Then I get involved in a little gangland war, but that's nothing to me. I've been in these gangland wars since I was 18, 19, so that was nothing. But I hope you have enjoyed the show tonight. We might get into the gangland wars in a later stage. But for now, I'm just going to wrap up. Well, not wrap up, I'm just going to finish. I know I went all over the place tonight because I never had a chosen subject. And I hope the people that I've done the shout outs for, they're happy enough with that. Just keep sending them in and I'll do them. So from the Blink You Missed It team, I'll say good night. Have a good night and have a good weekend. This weekend coming, because this is when this video will probably be released. And good night and goodbye. Bye.